Initially we got on like a house on fire. It was love at first sight, really. He popped the question a year later and we tied the knot the following summer. Unfortunately, our relationship fell apart not long after that. We realised that we had very little in common, communication broke down between us, and we just drifted apart very quickly. I know every relationship has its ups and downs, but we had hit rock bottom, so we decided to break up last week. And honestly, I am feeling really good about it. Hi everyone, Anna here from Englishlikeanative.com. Today we're learning 30 advanced phrases to use when talking about relationships. The first phrase is as thick as thieves. As thick as thieves. If two people are as thick as thieves, it means they are very close. They probably share a lot of secrets, like thieves would if thieves worked together. They're as thick as thieves. They're always together, talking quietly, privately, keeping each other's secrets, getting up to things. So you might say that two children are as thick as thieves. They're as thick as thieves, those two. They're very, very close as people. The next phrase is to break up. If you break up with someone, or you could just say we broke up, it means that a romantic relationship has ended. So last week we decided to break up, or I'm going to break up with my partner. Hopefully that's not true. I never want to break up with my partner, but it happens, you know. I've been through many breakups. Have you ever broken up with someone? Has someone ever broken up with you? Let me know in the comments. The next phrase is to drift apart. Now, if you drift apart, imagine that you are on the ocean, sailing together throughout your relationship, and then over time, you just end up doing different things, hanging out with different people, and you don't really know each other anymore. You become less close to one another. You drift apart, you change. It happens. The next one is to enjoy someone's company. Now you can say this about anyone, a friend, a colleague, someone on a more romantic level. But if you enjoy someone's company, it just means you like spending time with them. Oh yeah, I really enjoy Veronica's company. She's such a good laugh. The next one is to fall apart. Now in this context, we're talking about a relationship. If a relationship falls apart, it means it breaks or it goes wrong. It just doesn't work anymore. Our relationship started to fall apart when I found out he was having an affair. It's similar but very different, the phrase to fall for. If you fall for someone, it means that you fall in love with them. So it's almost like it happens suddenly, unexpectedly, like a fall would. Oh, I'm in love with you. Hopefully that love will be reciprocated and you will be in love with each other. But to fall for is one person suddenly becoming enamored or in love with another person. You can also use the phrase to fall head over heels in love, which is an extension of that. So to fall head over heels, or you could just say to be head over heels in love, is the same thing. Imagine your head tumbling and going over your heels. So it's like a tumbling motion, to suddenly fall deeply and very unexpectedly in love with someone, to fall head over heels, or to be head over heels in love with someone. Oh, I've fallen head over heels for you. Okay, the next one is to fall out with. Completely different. To fall out with someone is to have an argument with them or a disagreement with them. It might even mean the breakdown of your friendship or relationship. Oh, I don't talk to him anymore, we've fallen out. So you can use this with your friends. You can use this to talk about someone at work, or you can use it to talk about your relationship. You know, my boyfriend and I generally get along very, very well, but recently we had a big fallout and I haven't spoken to him for a week. Okay, so to fall out with somebody. The next phrase is in each other's pockets. If two people are in each other's pockets, it means they're spending all their time together. They don't give themselves any space. They do everything together. They shower together, they eat together, they hang out together, they work together. They're in each other's pockets. Might not make for a healthy relationship if you don't have any individual time, but some people like to be in each other's pockets. Especially if they get on like a house on fire. To get on like a house on fire means that two people who get on incredibly well. They get on really, really well. This can be a friendship or a more romantic relationship. But imagine a house on fire. The fire spreads very quickly and it burns very brightly. I know that's quite a negative picture, but it means two people get along very well. You can also simply use the phrase to get on well with. So you can either say get on, we get on with each other, or get on well is more of an exaggeration. To get on well with someone just means you enjoy each other's company, you have similar interests, you have good conversation. We get on very well. We can also use this phrase to get on well with to describe activities that you do well or enjoy. The next phrase is to get to know. This is just a phrase that we use when talking about the beginning of knowing someone. So if you meet someone, you've only met them that day, and someone asks you, what do you think of them? You might say, well, I can't really judge them at the moment. I need to get to know them a bit more before I can decide if I like them or not. To get to know. The next phrase is to go back years. If someone says that they go back years with someone, it means they've known someone for a very long time. So I might say, Tracy and I go back years. We were friends in high school. Okay. The next one, to have a lot in common. If you have a lot in common, it means you have a lot of similar interests. So I have a lot in common with my best friend. We both like the same things. We went to the same university. We do the same things on a regular basis. We have a lot in common. And that's why we're friends. You might say a relationship has its ups and downs. This basically refers to good times and bad times. So all relationships have their good times and bad times. They all have their ups and downs. Hopefully, your relationship is a healthy relationship. A healthy relationship, of course, just means a good, positive relationship. Now, the next phrase I like very much is to hit it off. If you hit it off with someone, it means that you very quickly become very good friends. You get on very well. You realise you've got a lot in common. You get on like a house on fire. To hit it off. So it talks about the beginning of a relationship, when it first starts, that spark. Oh, we hit it off straight away. When I met him, we just hit it off. So we just enjoyed each other's company very much. If you enjoy each other's company a lot, then you might be joined at the hip. If you're joined at the hip, it's very similar to being in each other's pockets. It means that you're always together. So you're joined at the hip. Oh, you two, have some time apart. It's like you're joined at the hip. Another phrase that you might use regularly when you're with somebody romantically is to say that you are in a relationship. Now, to be in a relationship just means you're romantically involved with someone. Okay, so you're calling someone your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your partner, or your wife, your husband. You are in a relationship. You only use this for romantic relationships, not friendships. Okay, are you in a relationship right now? Let me know. If you're not in a romantic relationship, then you might just be good friends. So we're just good friends. You might use this phrase if someone says, oh, are you two a couple? Is he your boyfriend? Oh, no. We're just good friends. It might seem like we're boyfriend and girlfriend because we get on so well. We look like we're joined at the hip all the time, but we're just good friends. There's no romantic involvement. The next one is to keep in touch with. To keep in touch with is something you do with someone who isn't physically present very much. It's someone you keep in contact with when they're away. So if your good friend moves to another city or another country, hopefully somehow you will keep in touch with them, either phoning them regularly, emails, social media. There's lots of ways these days to keep in touch with people around the world. If you don't stay in contact with them, then you can use the phrase to lose touch with. To lose touch with. It means you're no longer contacting them. You don't see them, you don't hear from them, and it goes on for a long time. So you might say, I had a best friend at university and we got on like a house on fire. We were always together, we were in each other's pockets. But then we moved to different cities and unfortunately we lost touch with each other. Okay, the next one is love at first sight. This is very similar to falling head over heels for someone, but this refers to falling in love instantly at the moment you meet somebody. Do you believe in love at first sight? I'm not sure I do, but let me know in the comments. Have you ever fallen in love at first sight with someone? Okay, if you are madly in love with someone, then you might decide to pop the question. To pop the question is to ask someone to marry you. So you might say to someone, look, you two have been going out forever. Like, you've been together for years. You've been in this relationship for such a long time. You get on really well. When are you going to pop the question? And they might say, well, I'm going to pop the question tonight, actually. The next one is to see eye to eye. This means basically you agree on something. You can use this professionally. You can use this to talk about any friendship or any kind of relationship, even a family relationship. You might say, my mother and I, we see eye to eye on everything, but my father and I, we don't see eye to eye. So you can say you don't see eye to eye or you do see eye to eye. You agree or you disagree with each other generally. The next one is to settle down. I remember my mum always saying to me, when are you going to settle down? When are you going to find a nice man and settle down? She doesn't sound like that, but anyway. To settle down means to give up your single life, start a family and have a more stable lifestyle. So to settle down. Yeah. Have you settled down yet? I think you can consider me settled down now. Now that I've got a baby on the way, a baby already here, lived in the same house for a few years, I think I'm pretty settled. The next phrase is to strike up a relationship. To strike up a relationship just means to begin a relationship. You can also replace relationship with friendship if you're talking about a friend. So you say, oh, they met and they struck up a relationship. Sorry, they met and they struck up a friendship straight away. Or I hope that he doesn't strike up a relationship with her because I'd be jealous. Something like that. If two people do strike up a relationship and it goes very well, he pops the question, then they will possibly, hopefully, tie the knot. To tie the knot means to get married. So when are you tying the knot? We're tying the knot in February next year. Woohoo! The next one is to be well matched. If you're well matched, it means that you really suit each other. It works well. This possibly comes from like a time when marriages were much more arranged by the families. In this country, arranged marriage isn't so popular. It doesn't really happen anymore. I know in other cultures, arranged marriages are still a very common thing. But this would be a good phrase there to say they are well matched. They suit each other. They've been put together very well. If you are having difficulties, if you're having ups and downs in your relationship, then you might need to work at a relationship. So to work at a relationship means to try to make the relationship more positive. Perhaps you're arguing a lot, but you don't want to break up. So you have to work at that relationship. So to work at a relationship. The last one on the list is Two peas in a pod. I love this one. To be two peas in a pod just means that you're very similar, particularly perhaps in appearance. Just like peas in a pod all look the same. You say, look at them, like two peas in a pod. You could say this about two friends who are very similar looking or have very similar personalities. Or you might say it about a boyfriend and girlfriend who just are very similar. It's like, oh, they're like two peas in a pod. Okay, so that was our very long list. Your challenge is to write a short story, including at least 5 of the phrases from today's lesson. Please include phrases that you previously were unfamiliar with, so ones you didn't know before. I really look forward to reading them. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you again in another lesson.